Now, the internet has recently been lit on fire after somebody noticed that Ted Cruz's Twitter account had recently liked something that it probably shouldn't have. Let me show you a screen cap here from Ted Cruz's Twitter account. Oh boy. So that video appears to be from sexual posts, and it appears to be a hardcore porn video. I can't actually show you that, but that's awesome. So that, of course, happened in the late night hours of Monday evening. Now, Ted Cruz's office, like, oh, no, that was a staffer. I might have actually been hacked. I can't tell you. Yeah, sure. Whatever. Now, as awesome as that is, the story actually gets a little bit better. Because Ted Cruz's old roommate, well, he decided to weigh in this issue. Now, while the internet is currently on fire, pretty soon, after hearing these details, they're going to want to bleach their eyes out at what he has to say. Now, for those of you who are unfamiliar, this is Craig Mazin. Now, Mazin is a screenwriter and director, and he also happened to be Ted Cruz's former roommate. And he's got a very long-standing feud with Ted Cruz, since, of course, he did share a dorm room with him, and he started attacking him on Twitter when he ran for Senate. Now, during the primary and during that Senate race, he started sharing some very sad tidbits of Ted Cruz's college life, like this one. He said, he tweeted, as a freshman, I would get into senior parties because I was Ted's roommate out of pity. He was that widely loathed. It's a superpower. So this guy gets invited to parties like, oh man, you bunk with Ted Cruz? Ooh, we hate that guy. Yeah, come on to our party, dude. We don't want you to hang out with creepy Ted, okay? Or lion Ted or whatever. He also tweeted, second memory, Ted would talk about the women he thought he had a shot with. Pretty sure he remained untouched by a woman those 4 years. Hilarious. Now, that, of course, leads to porn in this lovely image you probably won't be able to get out of your head. He tweets, now imagine Ted Cruz doing this 4 feet below you in the bottom bunk bed. Yes, my misery very much appreciates your company. Soak that in for a minute. Ugh. Now, if what he's referring to is not clear enough, he continues, sadly, the fact that Ted Cruz jacks off to mediocre porn spam is the most human thing we can say about him. This is actually a high point. And look, hey man, he's right about that. It is very, very difficult. Trust me, I've tried not to think of Ted Cruz showing any sort of humanity. Much less in this regard. But anyway. Thanks a lot for that, Craig. Appreciate it. Now, he does offer a bit of an apology on Twitter. He also tweets, I never wanted this for any of you. I thought maybe I'd feel better if 2 or 3 people know. Now, not 6 billion. That said, I feel better. That's some awesome next level trolling there. Now, look, to be a little bit more serious, everybody looks at porn. Now, if you say you don't look at porn, you're a dirty liar. Hey, it turns out human beings kind of like seeing other human beings naked. No. Oh my God, no. No. Are you kidding me? Yeah, of course. Now, look, I'm not trying to shame Ted Cruz for possibly getting down with himself if that's indeed what took place, and it wasn't just a careless intern or a staffer. But here's where I'm forced to talk about this, and that's because of the hypocrisy. See, Ted Cruz, and probably his staffers, well, they're your family values type Republicans, right? Now, to show you how so-called family values and essentially anti-sex Ted Cruz is, remember when he was the state solicitor general of Texas, he actually defended a law that banned sex toys. According to Vanity Fair, in his brief to the U.S. Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals, Cruz and his team argued that the plaintiffs challenging the law, a group of online retailers and Austin stores that sold sex toys, were not protected under the 14th Amendment's right to privacy. In fact, he continued, banning obscene devices was in the public interest, and the government should be granted police powers for the purposes of discouraging prurient interest in sexual gratification, combating the commercial sale of sex, and protecting minors. You always have to throw that in. Think of the children. Think of the children. Furthermore, using obscene devices, the state argued, was akin, and get this comparison, to hiring a willing prostitute or engaging in consensual bigamy. But wait, there's nothing wrong with any of that. I would go further. My personal beliefs is, why is prostitution illegal? It's a monetary, voluntary transaction between two adults. Who cares? Honestly, who the fuck gives a shit? You want to hire a hooker, right? But no, he says that since that's illegal and so and immoral, well, so is having a sex toy, because it's the same thing. Pretty sure it's not. Pretty sure it's not equal to hiring a prostitute. Look, this guy has some serious issues, and I'm guessing a lot of that stems from being super bitter that he couldn't get laid in college. I'm just saying. Now, that actually leads me to Mazin's best tweet on this one, and this is regarded in regards to his time as State Solicitor General of Texas, banning the sex toys. He says, Ted Cruz thinks people don't have a right to stimulate their genitals. I was his college roommate. This would be a new belief of his. Damn. Hey everybody, thanks for watching this video. If you want to see more like this, please hit the subscribe button below. And if you want to support truly independent progressive media, please consider becoming a patron at patreon.com/TYTNation.